Wise men speak because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. Knowledge which is acquired under compulsion obtains no hold on the mind. Ignorance the root and stem of all evil. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Thinking the talking of the soul with itself. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. The measure of a man is what he does with power. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. Music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and charm and gaiety to life and to everything. Philosophy is the highest music. Excess of liberty, whether it lies in the state or individuals, seems only to pass into excess of slavery. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. No law or ordinance is mightier than understanding. A hero is born among 100, a wise man is found among 1,000, but an accomplished one might not be found even among 100,000 men. Better a little which is well done than a great deal imperfectly. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. Love is the joy of the good, the wonder of the wise, the amazement of the gods. A good decision is based on knowledge and not on numbers. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. We are twice armed if we fight with faith. The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future life. What you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. No man should bring children into the world who is unwilling to persevere to the end in their nature and education. Those who are too smart to engage in politics are punished by being governed by those who are dumber. Wise men talk because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. The beginning is the most important part of the work. The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. An empty vessel makes the loudest sound, so they that have the least wit are the greatest babblers. Democracy is a charming form of government, full of variety and disorder, and dispensing a sort of equality to equals and unequals alike. The man who makes everything that leads to happiness depends upon himself, and not upon other men, has adopted the very best plan for living happily. Ideas are the source of all things. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. At the core of all well-founded belief lies belief that is unfounded. Courage is a kind of salvation. All learning has an emotional base. He who commits injustice is ever made more wretched than he who suffers it. Knowledge that is acquired under compulsion obtains no hold on the mind. The good is the beautiful. The soul takes nothing with her to the next world but her education and her culture. Good actions give strength to ourselves and inspire good actions in others. There is no harm in repeating a good thing. What is honored in a country will be cultivated there. You cannot conceive the many without the one. Music is the movement of sound to reach the soul for the education of its virtue. The object of education is to teach us to love what is beautiful. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. Opinions founded on prejudice are always sustained with the greatest violence. Beauty of style and harmony and grace and good rhythm depend on simplicity. All men are by nature equal, made all of the same earth by one workman. No one ever teaches well who wants to teach, or governs well who wants to govern. We are not makers of history. We are made by history. Excess of liberty, whether it ties in state or individuals, seems only to pass into excess of slavery.